When I was a child, I got in trouble for arguing with another student in high school and got sent to the principal's office. There, the principal and I started talking about what I wanted to do with my future life. I mentioned that I just wanted to be happy, in whatever shape that comes in. She looked me in the eyes, and said that most people can only ever hope to reach a state of being content with their lives, and that happiness is only a temporary thing, here one day, and gone the next. She told me that I should never try to pursue happiness because it's just unrealistic. I realize now, though, that she was only partially correct. The happiness that people may experience at a birthday party, or a wedding, or on a vacation with family and friends, does tend to be fleeting and only a temporary thing. However, that wasn't the kind of happiness I was talking about. I was talking about the kind of happiness that comes with knowing your place in the world and having genuine positive connections with other people. The world we live in today has gotten so complicated that many people can't help but feel lost and disconnected from it. They don't even know where they belong in this world, let alone try to find happiness in it. There's just so much going on all at once, and everything is pulling at you from every direction. It's no wonder why so many people feel completely alone, even while they're standing in a crowd of other people. Most of the modern societies that exist today have lost the social cohesiveness that gave our ancestors a sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. For many years in a row, the country of Finland has ranked number 1 in the happiness of its citizens. That is mostly due to a strong social support system, relatively low levels of crime and corruption, and its citizens seem to have more trust in their government and the social systems they have made. They seem to have developed a culture where everyone seems to try and look out for each other. There is also a much stronger sense of community and social cohesion in that country, and the overall happiness and contentment of its citizens seems to be the result. A thing I have always found strange is how some third world or developing countries, despite all of the hardships and troubles they endure, are still happier and less stressed out than the so-called first world countries. Their citizens often report higher levels of purpose and meaning in their lives. Again, this has a lot to do with the sense of connection and community they feel with the people around them. They don't have to worry about things like inequality, because everybody is poor, and everybody is fighting the same battle, and dealing with the same things. There is a much stronger sense of, we're all in this together. Compare that to the every man out for himself mindset that dominates the West, and it's easy to see why so many people feel alone, lost and empty, and have a lack of purpose and direction in their lives. Most people that live today are just very disconnected in all the ways that truly matter. Although it's true that each individual may have their own unique definition of what happiness means for them, the world we live in often prevents us from discovering what truly makes us happy, because all of the constant shit this world and its backwards societies keep throwing at us. It's one thing to do all of the soul-searching necessary to discover what it is that makes you truly happy in this life, and it's another to find out that even when you do discover what it is you want, you still can't have it. Because the structure of your society is set up in a way that prevents the average person from ever truly finding happiness. It's kind of like we're all playing a rigged game, a game that sets us up with the idea of happiness, and dangles it in front of us, as motivation to keep us chasing after it, but always keeping it just out of reach. That way, we will never be truly satisfied, and will just end up stuck in a constant cycle of craving things that we think at the time will make us happy. Only for us to find out later that they don't. It has become painfully apparent that the corporate overlords that run this world don't care if the average citizen ever finds happiness in their life. Their only concern is that you keep running every day on the hamster wheel that they designed for you, in order to keep making them richer and richer. They don't care if you drop dead on the hamster wheel, because they can just replace you with someone else. You are not a human being in their eyes, you are not a person, you are only a commodity, a tool to be used and discarded when they are done with you. When, or if, you reach retirement age, they might allow you to have a little bit of an allowance, so you can enjoy the remainder of the years you have left alive, as your body and health slowly start to fall apart right out from under you.
Hey Valerie, I hope you don't mind if I jump in here for a bit. I always tell people that happiness is something that is generated. It's not something that you just go out and find. You can travel all over the world and search under every rock and you will never find happiness. The state of happiness is often generated by the individual experiencing it. It's not something that you can just go out and find externally. Which is why getting a romantic partner or getting that expensive car you've always wanted will not make you happy by itself. People often think they can just achieve something and that will make them happy. Then, when they finally achieve what it is they want, they soon find out that they still have that same emptiness inside them that just can't be filled. So, they keep on searching, keep on striving to find the elusive happiness that is always just outside their reach. I have seen rich men be miserable and poor men be happy, all because the poor man discovered that the key to true happiness was not something external, but instead lies within. Which is why small children can often be happy with the simplest of things. It's only when they grow up and they are indoctrinated by a society based on consumerism do they end up being miserable. Mostly because they're always craving things. After all, society programs us to never be satisfied. Because a society full of happy and satisfied people is just bad for the economy. Money just can't be made off of you when you're happy, and it's a lot harder to exploit people when they are satisfied with their lives. So you are constantly encouraged to be miserable and to never be satisfied with yourself or your life. So, I guess the key to happiness is finding the optimal conditions tailored to each individual that allow that person to generate the happiness they want from inside themselves. They can find the conditions that help them generate the happiness from within by discovering who they truly are as a person and what they truly want out of their lives. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to do that when your culture and society as a whole has taken the time to shove a pineapple straight up your ass the moment you reach adulthood, and sometimes even before that.
Sure, Night Owl, you can jump in any time you like, and I totally agree. They just won't let us be free, to live how we want, and discover who we are because most people in this world were born just to be slaves. Whether they know it or not, they were born just to work and toil away their lives, so a small minority of people at the very top can enjoy a type of lifestyle that about 90% of the rest of humanity could never hope to achieve. Although, if you think about it, it's really nothing new. Rich men throughout history have been standing on the backs of hard-working poor men for thousands of years. Rich men got that way in the first place by exploiting the labor and resources of other people, which in turn gave them the power and resources to go on and exploit even more and more people. The same kind of exploitation goes on even today. Which is why I personally find billionaires to be a disgrace to the human race. Because they are the end result of a very, very sick system. They have so much wealth and power that even the emperors and pharaohs of history would be jealous. Yet, all they do with that wealth and power is use it to make themselves even richer, in order to achieve even more power and influence, in a continuing never-ending cycle of exploitation. Which is why they have more wealth and power than some small countries. They are the winners of a very sick and disturbing game. A game that causes so much suffering to so many people all over the world. In this system, things like empathy and compassion will not make you rich, however the exploitation of other people and a lack of compassion often does make you rich. So my question is, how the hell is anyone supposed to find happiness in a world like that? The most disturbing thing about all of this is that we are trapped in the system, we are imprisoned by it, and there's no way for us to escape it. The same system of human beings exploiting other human beings is everywhere on this planet, there's simply nowhere you can go to escape it. There is a lot of truth to the concept that we live on a prison planet, and everyone is just sitting around serving their life sentence, trying to make the best of whatever circumstance they happen to find themselves in. There is nowhere to go, nowhere we can run to, nowhere we can hide. All we can do is just sit here and serve out our sentence until death comes for us. The reality is that most people live in a harsh, brutal dystopia, where most of us are set up to fail in life before we even know what is going on, is the essence of the pineapple metaphor that Night Owl keeps referring to. It's very difficult for anyone to find happiness in a world like that. I personally find my happiness by focusing on the small things that give me some sense of joy. After all, even a prisoner can have hobbies that they like to do. That said, even if it is still possible to find a few small moments of happiness in this prison planet dystopia we live in, it's still no excuse to add more prisoners to the prison. If a person had any sense of compassion and empathy at all, they would understand that condemning an innocent new life to the same torment, wage slavery, exploitation, suffering and death, that we ourselves have to endure, is nothing short of an act of utter cruelty. So go ahead, discover who you truly are as a person, and try to find what little happiness you can get out of this life in whatever way you can. But don't put that burden on someone else's back, someone that never asked to be here in the first place. You are not doing them any service at all by bringing them here. No innocent person should ever have to endure the cold indifference of nature, or the harsh cruelty of mankind. To gift someone, with a lifetime of having to endure the harsh, cold, dystopic hellscape of the modern world we live in, is no gift at all. Thanks for watching, and until next time, may any suffering you endure be minimal, and may good fortune be with you.